Can Jack Brabham drive his Repco Brabham to victory in Repco's hometown of Melbourne, Australia? Let's see as we turn the clock back again to the Tasman Championship of 1965.
Melbourne, capital of Victoria, is the scene of the 6th heat of the Tasman Championship, the Sandown International Cup. Sometimes called the Detroit of Australia, with its big vehicle factories, it's the headquarters of Repco. And its 2 million people run motor vehicles in a ratio of 1 for every 2 people of driving age. Jack and New Zealander Bruce McLaren have been admiring a vintage Bentley during their Melbourne sightseeing and are recorded by the press photographers. At this informal get-together, the press and radio people interview some of the visiting drivers who will be competing at Sandown Park, Australia's most modern combined horse and motor race track. Jack's mechanic is already on the job preparing number 4. Bib Stillwell's garage and workshop. Bib and his chief mechanic, Jerry Brown, look things over and decide the gear ratios need changing. Jim Palmer, with his father, who can pass on many years of motor racing experience to young Jim. The usual canvas village has been erected in the Sandown paddock, and as usual, the Repco Racing Service engineers are there to balance wheels. Wherever Jack goes, he's in demand for a quick chat or advice. This is not surprising, as 9 of the 14 starters will be driving Repco Brabham cars, 7 of them powered by 2.5-litre Coventry Climax engines and 2 by 1.5-litre Fords. Number 7, Alec Mildren's car, to be driven by Frank Gardner, and Greg Cusack's 1.5-litre car, number 18. Jim Clark, Lotus Climax, number 9, goes to the starting grid. The organisers have provided attractive models to accompany the drivers to the start. Number 1, the Scuderia Veloce Brabham and driver Graham Hill. Kerry Grant. Number 5, Jim Palmer. Rowley Levis, his little Brabham fit again after the shunt at Pukekohe. Frank Gardner and yet another Repco Brabham. Nearly 1/4 of the 50,000 spectators are in this magnificent grandstand, watching the organised confusion on the grid, while the drivers look as unconcerned as possible. 4 men with 5 World Championship crowns between them. Time to clear the grid and settle into the cars in preparation for 100 miles of racing or 54 laps of the circuit. All round the 2-mile track, the crowd gets ready for an hour's watching on their toes. Inner man permitting, of course. It's heads down, and for the first corner, barely 400 yards away, turn left into a short straight past the pits. And up the hill at the back of the course. Grandstand straight under Dunlop Bridge, and the leading bunch are already moving out. Clark, Brabham, McLaren, Phil Hill, Matic, and so on. Lap 2, Brabham in second place. Clark leads the field up the back straight. Clark holds his position until lap 6 when Brabham takes over. It's not Graham Hill's day, and he finally retires with overheating. Brabham and Clark swap places several times, but from half distance on, Jack has the upper hand. The battle is not over, as both drivers cut tenths of seconds off the fast lap times until Jack finally sets it at 1 minute 8.6 seconds, or 101.18 miles an hour. While this is going on, Bibb Stillwell works his way up to third place, but a faulty magneto slows him down to his finishing position of 6th, allowing Phil Hill, Bruce McLaren and Jim Palmer to move in front of him in the last few laps. One lap to go, and Jack goes down the main straight at close to 140 miles an hour, with Jim Clark barely 3 seconds behind him. There's no doubt about it now, it's Jack's race. The car never missed a beat, and the race took him just under 63 minutes, a fraction under the 100 mile an hour average.